Have you ever heard of a book so dangerous, so powerful that simply reading it could drive you mad? A book that holds the forbidden secrets of the cosmos, whispered by beings older than time itself? Today, we're diving deep into the legend of the most infamous book that never was, the Necronomicon. You've probably seen it mentioned in movies like Evil Dead, or maybe you've encountered it in video games and comic books. It's always portrayed as this ancient, leather-bound tome, filled with grotesque illustrations and dark incantations. The kind of book that, when opened, unleashes chaos and horror upon the world. But where did this terrifying legend come from? Is there a real Necronomicon hidden away in some dusty, forgotten library? The answer might surprise you. To find the origin of the Necronomicon, we have to travel back to the early 20th century, to the mind of one of the masters of horror fiction, H.P. Lovecraft. That's right, the Necronomicon is a complete fabrication, a brilliant piece of world-building from a writer who redefined the horror genre. Lovecraft first mentioned the book in his 1924 short story, The Hound. He didn't just invent a spooky book. He created an entire history for it. He named it the Kitab al-Azif, an Arabic title he claimed meant the Book of the Sound of Insects, which he associated with the nocturnal chittering of demons and ghouls. According to Lovecraft's lore, the Al-Azif was written in the 8th century by a so-called mad Arab named Abdul Alhazred. This mysterious poet and scholar from Yemen was said to have journeyed into the deepest, most desolate parts of the Arabian desert, the Rub al-Khali, or the Empty Quarter. There, he supposedly uncovered the ruins of forgotten cities and communed with ancient, cosmic entities beings we now know as the Great Old Ones, like the mighty Cthulhu. Alhazred chronicled all the terrifying knowledge he gained in his book. He wrote about cosmic histories, alien races, and rituals to contact these powerful and often malevolent beings from beyond the stars. His fate? According to Lovecraft, Alhazred met a grisly end. He was supposedly devoured in broad daylight by an invisible monster in the marketplace of Damascus, a horrifying spectacle witnessed by many. This dramatic end only added to the mystique of his forbidden work, but Lovecraft didn't stop there. He built a detailed, fictional publication history for the book to make it feel even more real. He wrote that the Al-Azif was secretly translated into Greek in the 10th century and given the title we all know, the Necronomicon. This name, Lovecraft explained, roughly translates to an image of the law of the dead. The book was supposedly so dangerous that both the Greek and original Arabic versions were banned and burned by religious authorities. Yet, a few copies always survived. A Latin translation was supposedly made in the Middle Ages, which also led to further suppression by the Church. Lovecraft even claimed that a 16th century English scholar, Dr. John Dee, owned a copy and attempted to translate it. By weaving the Necronomicon into the lives of real historical figures and placing it in famous libraries like the British Museum and the Vatican, Lovecraft blurred the line between fiction and reality so effectively that people started to believe it was a genuine historical artifact. This is the genius of Lovecraft. He didn't just tell stories. He created a shared universe. He encouraged his writer friends like Clark Ashton Smith and Robert E. Howard to include the Necronomicon in their own tales. This collaborative effort, part of what's now called the Cthulhu Mythos, solidified the book's legendary status. Each time another author mentioned it, the illusion grew stronger. It became a literary inside joke that spilled out into the real world. The public's fascination with the Necronomicon took on a life of its own. Libraries began receiving serious inquiries from people trying to check out the book. Rare book dealers were pestered with requests. The myth became so pervasive that hoaxes started to appear. Clever bookbinders would take old, unrelated texts, slap a creepy cover on them, and sell them as genuine copies of the Necronomicon. One of the most famous hoaxes is the Simon Necronomicon, published in the 1970s. This book claimed to be the real deal, blending Sumerian mythology with Lovecraftian themes. While many occult enthusiasts embraced it, scholars and Lovecraft fans quickly identified it as a modern fabrication. But its popularity shows just how much people wanted the legend to be true. We are drawn to the idea of forbidden knowledge, to the thrill of peeking behind the curtain of our perceived reality. So why does this fictional book continue to captivate us? What is its enduring appeal? I think that's because the Necronomicon taps into a very deep-seated human fear, the fear of the unknown. Lovecraft's brand of horror wasn't about ghosts or vampires. It was about cosmic horror, the terrifying realization that humanity is an insignificant speck in a vast, uncaring universe inhabited by forces so ancient and powerful that they are beyond our comprehension. The Necronomicon is the ultimate symbol of that fear. It's a gateway to truths that our minds are not equipped to handle. The idea that knowledge itself can be destructive is a powerful one. We're taught that knowledge is power, that learning is always a good thing. The Necronomicon turns that concept on its head. It suggests there are some doors that should never be opened, some secrets that are best left buried. Think about the structure of Lovecraft's stories. The protagonist is often a scholar, an antiquarian, or a scientist, someone dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. They stumble upon a piece of the puzzle, a strange artifact or a cryptic passage, and their curiosity drives them forward. They dig deeper and deeper, ignoring the warnings until they uncover the horrifying truth. And that truth doesn't set them free. It shatters their sanity. The Necronomicon is the ultimate source of that sanity-shattering truth. This theme has influenced countless creators. Stephen King, Guillermo del Toro, and the creators of shows like Stranger Things all owe a debt to Lovecraft and his cosmic horror. The Necronomicon, or books like it, serve as a perfect plot device. They represent a shortcut to power and knowledge, but always at a terrible price. It's a classic Faustian bargain, updated for an age of cosmic dread. Let's look at its most famous pop culture incarnation, the Evil Dead franchise. In these films, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, or the Book of the Dead, is bound in human flesh and inked in blood. Reading its passages aloud doesn't just drive you crazy. It awakens demonic entities, the Deadites, that possess the living and cause all sorts of gory mayhem. While Sam Raimi's take is more action-packed and often comical, it perfectly captures the core idea, a forbidden book that unleashes hell on earth. The legacy of the Necronomicon is a testament to the power of storytelling. H.P. Lovecraft created something so compelling, so detailed, that it broke free from the pages of his stories and took on a life of its own. It became a modern myth, a piece of folklore created not by ancient civilizations, but by a 20th century horror writer. So the next time you see the Necronomicon in a movie or a game, remember its strange and fascinating origin. It's not just a prop. It's a symbol of our fascination with the dark, the forbidden, and the unknown. It's a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters aren't hiding under the bed, but within the pages of a book, or even within the vast, unexplored cosmos. In the end, there is no physical Necronomicon to fear. You can't find it in a hidden vault or buy it from a shadowy book dealer. Its real power lies not in dark magic, but in the human imagination, the same place where it was born. And in a way that's even more powerful. It's a story that has been told and retold, inspiring fear, curiosity, and creativity for nearly a century, and that is a kind of magic all its own. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of a literary legend. If you enjoy diving into mysteries like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the strange and unexplained. What other fictional artifacts or legends should we investigate next? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.